The Golden State Warriors and Jonathan Kuminga remain at odds as contract talks drag on. Kuminga is a restricted free agent who has yet to agree to a new deal. The Warriors have reportedly offered a 2-year, $45 million contract. But if Kuminga opts for the $7.9 million qualifying offer instead, he'll be on a 1-year deal and set to hit unrestricted free agency next summer. That path wouldn't just shift leverage to Kuminga, it could complicate Golden State's ability to match salaries in a future trade. As Bobby Marks explained, moving Kuminga on a short, low-value deal limits the Warriors' flexibility if a star becomes available. All of this puts Golden State in a tricky spot. They don't want to lose Kuminga for nothing. But they've also made it clear they won't move him unless the return meets their standards. What the Warriors have looked for in return. In past sign-and-trade conversations, Golden State's asking price has been consistent. A promising young player, a first-round pick, and no bad salary coming back. That framework helps set the stage for a recent mock trade pitch floated by Sports Illustrated's Thomas Corelli. While it doesn't hit every point of that ask, it does present a scenario worth watching. The mock trade, Kuminga to Utah. Here's the deal proposed by Corelli. Jazz receive Jonathan Kuminga via sign-and-trade. Warriors receive Georges Niang via $8.8 million trade exception. 2027 first-round pick via Minnesota. 2028 first-round pick via Utah. Utah's angle, building around the front court. The Utah Jazz have the draft capital to explore bold moves. With 8 first-round picks over the next 4 drafts and a young core built around Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler, they're well-positioned to take calculated swings. Adding Kuminga would boost their athleticism and upside, especially alongside Ace Bailey and Walter Clayton Jr. Warriors return, shooting and draft picks. For the Warriors, Niang brings one clear asset, shooting. He's a career 40% three-point shooter and fits well alongside Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. The 2 first-round picks help replenish future assets without compromising the current cap sheet. While the deal lacks a young, controllable player, it does offer shooting depth and flexibility, 2 things Golden State could value if the standoff with Kuminga continues. Final thoughts. The trade proposal comes at a time when the Warriors are still weighing their options with Kuminga. Golden State has held firm on what they want in return, but as talks remain stalled, this is the kind of offer that could at least get them listening. 2 first-round picks may even be viewed as an overpay depending on how the Jazz value Kuminga. But if they see him as the missing piece alongside Bailey, Kessler, and Markkanen, it's the kind of gamble a team with assets to spare might be willing to take. It's not exactly what the Warriors have asked for. No young player, and Niang isn't necessarily a guaranteed rotation piece. But with an additional pick in the mix, it could even be better in some ways. If a deal like this were ever on the table, it would be enough to spark real conversation in the front office. The mutual interest between the Sacramento Kings and Jonathan Kuminga is widely documented. Still, the Golden State Warriors reportedly don't feel compelled to trade their restricted free agent to their Pacific Division rival. According to Brett Siegel of Clutch Points, the Warriors have shut down all sign-and-trade talks with the Kings, mainly because of the package offered by Sacramento, which includes Malik Monk and a protected first-round pick in 2030. Even if the Kings were to completely remove protections from this pick, Golden State would remain unmotivated to make such a trade, Siegel wrote on August 11th. Trading Kuminga for Monk straight up would hard cap the Warriors at the first apron, and the only way they could prevent such is by trading either Buddy Hield or Moses Moody as well. The Warriors do not want to trade either player in a sign-and-trade proposal involving Kuminga this offseason, sources told Clutch Points. Sam Amick also confirmed the notion that Hield and Moody will remain with the Dubs. Kings remain the top suitor. Siegel's report added that outside of the Kings, there is no movement on anything regarding Kuminga, with Golden State not entertaining any offers from other teams. The Phoenix Suns' offer presents less value than that of the Kings, and there isn't another team that has presented a firm proposal for Kuminga this offseason, he added. Kuminga and his camp have reportedly continued to signal that they want a fresh start and have absolutely no desire to return to the Warriors. While the Kings, Nets, Suns, and Heat have all expressed interest in Kuminga at various points, Kuminga is eyeing a move to Sacramento, according to ESPN's Mark J. Spears. He wants to go to Sacramento. Spears reported on July 30th, the Kings are offering a starting spot as the power forward, next to Keegan Murray and Domantas Sabonis. Spears added that Kuminga made his decision after a Zoom call with the Kings GM Scott Perry, assistant GM BJ Armstrong, and head coach Doug Christie. He's in. He wants to go there, but the Warriors don't like the first pick being offered. Warriors keen on Josh Giddey? Over the past week or so, several insiders have suggested that the Warriors may be keen on pulling off a sign-and-trade involving Bulls guard Josh Giddey, who is also a restricted free agent and locked in a contract dispute with his team. However, Siegel poured cold water on those reports, noting that the Warriors are not actively pursuing a deal for Giddey, but have expressed interest. Although interest from other teams may exist, the Warriors are not actively pursuing Giddey this offseason, team sources from both organizations confirmed. The Bulls have not held sign-and-trade talks with the Dubs regarding Giddey and Kuminga, a scenario that would be very difficult for both teams to solve financially, Siegel wrote. NBA insider Jake Fisher reported on Bleacher Report's NBA Insider Notebook on August 7th that the Warriors would be interested, depending on how the machinations could go in some type of Josh Giddey-Jonathan Kuminga sign-and-trade. The Golden State Warriors only have a few years left competing for titles with their core of Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and now Jimmy Butler. After they finalize a deal with Jonathan Kuminga, the team expects to sign free agent Al Horford. However, even with the addition of the Champion Center, they increase their biggest cause for concern over the next few seasons. As mentioned by Anthony Slater of ESPN, Curry, Green, Butler, and Horford are all over 35 years old and trying to compete in a Western Conference with young players yet to hit the prime of their careers. Age could be the downfall of this Warriors franchise that has seen incredible success over the past decade. Jimmy Butler III will turn 36 before training camp. Draymond Green will turn 36 in March. Stephen Curry will turn 38 before the playoffs. Al Horford, the free agent the basketball world has ticketed for the Warriors, will turn 40 during next June's NBA Finals, Slater wrote. That's 4 projected starters attempting to fight off the aging process against a league exploding with young and improving talent. Curry, Green, and Butler are all under contract for the next 2 years, but there's no guarantee any success will come in that time. With older stars come more injuries, and as seen on Golden State recently, one injury can change the course of a team's season for the worse. Aging stars on the Warriors. While it's not like a team filled with older players hasn't had postseason success before, Golden State's front office will be asking a lot of multiple players who are closer to retirement than they are to the peak of their careers. Yet still, each had successful campaigns last season, despite their old age relative to NBA terms. But the last time we saw all 4, they were still highly productive. Curry finished as a second-team All-NBA guard. Green finished 3rd in Defensive Player of the Year voting, Slater wrote. Butler joined the Warriors and, when paired with Curry, helped them close the regular season with a 22-5 record. Horford was a vital part of the Celtics' playoff run. None of these 3, along with their projected 4th in Horford, has seen a sharp decline in their overall play over the past few years. Although Horford took a step back with the Boston Celtics last season, the Warriors likely wouldn't ask either him or Green to be major factors in their offense. However, both Curry and Butler had strong offensive outputs last season, putting up scoring numbers consistent with their career averages. Though each year brings a more difficult task of competing in 82 games along with the potential for playoff rounds, it would be a bigger cause for concern if Golden State stars were already showing signs of their play falling off a cliff, which has yet to happen. But as Slater added, any incremental decline from any of the 4 would put a dent in their already long-shot title odds. Curry's uncertain future. While it is almost impossible to imagine a Warriors team not led by Curry, that will likely be the case by the end of the decade. Though his run has been incredible, with 4 championships, 1 Finals MVP, 2 regular season MVPs, the best regular season record in NBA history, while becoming the greatest three-point shooter of all time, time is ticking for the future Hall of Fame player. Curry suffered a hamstring strain in their playoff series against the Minnesota Timberwolves, a sign of an overworked body paired with 15 years in the league. The internal belief is Curry's hamstring strain in the Minnesota series was a wear-and-tear issue following a sprint into and out of the play-in followed by a 7-game first-round series against Houston, Slater said about the injury. Curry also discussed the topic of retirement in a recent interview. He said that though he wants to continue playing as long as possible, every time he goes through rehab in the offseason like this one, it makes it more difficult to stay at his peak. Rehab is scary and you don't want to do it, Curry said about walking off the court with an injury. So, if I can get through off seasons, I feel like that's the marker as to how long I can push it. Regardless of age, the talent on Golden State makes them a worthy opponent for any team in the playoffs. As Slater put it, the season is a marathon. Rivals wouldn't be lining up to face a rested Warriors team in a playoff series, but the challenge will be getting through 82 games intact and revved up enough to actually threaten.